to the Royal Bee Yarn Company.
Oh, I'm Kelly.
I'm Tony, and we own the Royal Bee Yarn Company in Pacifica, California, which is a shop that sells yarn.
We say this every time because, you know, we never know, are people like tuning in for the very first time?
You probably just Googling and you see our beautiful faces and you think, I want to look at that.
Yeah, sure.
And this is our
21st. I think it's our 21st. Like, I think we can drink now.
Yes.
We slowed down the cadence of these little video podcasts because we needed to give people time to kind of catch up on them. We got a little over enthusiastic.
We were doing them once a week, and then
it's a bit too much.
So once a month as well.
Once a month. Yeah.
If you don't like that, then please let us know, and we'll
do nothing about it.
Yeah. Okay, tell us what's been going on.
Oh wait. So again, just in case people are tuning in for the first time, we also have our own yarn brand.
That's right, I forgot to mention that.
I'm actually wearing a little bit of my yarn today. This is the Magnolia Cardigan. Don't know whether you can see that. I love the little bubbles.
It's nice.
And it's made out of my original Purple Couch collection. This is Magda. And it's DK held together with Rowan Kid Silk Case, which kind of combined to make this color. So I really love it. It's very cozy and it's perfect for today. We woke up this morning and we were like, oh my gosh, it's so freezing.
Yeah, it's cold.
We were absolutely
for
freezing.
California, it's cold.
And it was like 62 degrees in our house.
Yeah, which in Britain is like high summer.
I know. We've lost it. So I'm wearing mohair, held double with DK, and I'm absolutely comfortable.
Yeah.
So, and we have
yarn
in the shop too.
I know nothing about thread and yarn, so I just want to admit that now. If you're watching, waiting for me to say something really intelligent about knitting or crochet or any of the other related yarn crafts, it's not going to happen. But I'm here, and I'm a teacher in Pacifica. Yeah.
And you're here to support me.
Yes, absolutely. And I like doing these.
I know, they're fun. We have
fun.
And
I have a job to do, don't I?
You do have a job to do. And I took it away from you. Like, okay, so this is our our worsted spun.
Of course, you need a close-up, and I give it a quick squish like that. Because the people like to do that, apparently.
I'm not sure if people actually do that or you just do that, but that's okay. I like that you are a yarn squisher. And then this is our woolen spun. So it's got lots of
texture,
it's got lots of texture, and I think I just twisted the hank a little bit firmer. That's all.
I know nothing.
It's all right. And the woolen spun has lots of like air between. You know, the fibers aren't combed in the same direction, so there's lots of air between them. It gives lots of warmth, lots of texture, and then as the fibers kind of calm down, it's really, really soft. But it's beautiful to knit with. It's now altogether my favorite. Yeah. It's my favorite yarn. Yes. My own yarn is, well, actually my own yarn is my second favorite yarn. I admit it. I love my yarn, but I'm a sucker for Woolfolk Far. Oh my gosh, that stuff is heaven. I love the soft stuff. Anyway, so
oh, you dropped it.
Whoa, I did. Where is it?
Went on the ledge.
Oh, okay. Oh, and it's almost Christmas, and so, okay, so those of you that know me, those of you that have watched the video podcast know that both of us are really into doing things that are environmentally friendly. Our yarn comes from an eco-friendly farm here in the United States. We actually have it milled outside of California, partly because we couldn't find a mill at the time in which we were launching the yarn that could help us. There are a couple of mills now in California that we're really excited to work with, but also to preserve water in our area because it's kind of a water intensive thing. Anyway, I'm really into like wearing the clothes that I have until they disintegrate, and I'm kind of a little bit anti-fast fashion, but
I like black clothes. I wear a lot of black.
But if I stood too close to a flame today, I would spontaneously combust. I have a series, I'll have to hold it up, but I have a series of Christmas dresses And they are man-made.
You put that down now.
Okay. There's nothing. So, I like to also be a hypocrite now and again.
And also on our show, we interview designers and makers. And do we have someone today?
Well, first, I would love to hear what's new with you.
Okay, I was just trying to be professional. Well, it's the last week of Christmas. The schools all closed yesterday. Well, they're all closed anyway because we're in the pandemic, but the virtual schools finished for the Christmas vacation, the winter vacation, as we say. And that's pretty much just closing shop and making sure everyone's happy and ready for the break.
And even though, so it's...
And I got you an amazing gift.
I'm excited.
I love it.
And it was recently Tony's birthday.
It was my birthday.
And now we're the same age because Tony's 9 months younger than I am.
That's right.
So I
Your
always like
birthday's
this
in
time.
3 months.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I always take the leap on
Enjoy
the
the 3
milestones
months,
first. And let's see what else. Yeah, so we're just preparing for Christmas.
Yes.
And we're just going to be staying home.
And usually we
with
we see
my
family
mom.
or something.
Yeah, but
So
we won't
my
be
family
doing
are in
this.
Wales, but
We'll be doing
haven't
it virtually.
seen them for a long time. Yeah.
Yeah, virtually. So.
Lots of
And-
Zoom
Oh,
parties.
and the stuff that's new at the and I love that he has this 2 weeks off, which again started yesterday because then I'm like, oh, you can do this, you can do that for me. And one of the things that I finally did was I moved where we're in the back room right now, which is going to be where the hive, which is what we call our stitch group, can come and hang out. And we have tea and coffee and water and snacks.
It's gold.
And it's gold.
Gold.
Gold is best. And I got a fireplace. So
Cozy
Tony's
fireplace.
going to be putting
So that's
that
what I'm doing.
together.
Putting the
We're just going
fireplace
to try to
together.
make this place as cozy as possible because, of course, during COVID, we can't have any gatherings. We're actually we're under stay-at-home orders, so we're in major lockdown.
20%.
We're allowed to be open, but we can have a 20% capacity.
Which is 6.
In the shop. So
So if me and Kelly are in, that's only 4 customers.
For customers,
So sometimes I've had to leave
Yeah.
to make up for that extra one.
Yeah.
But we are open.
But we're open.
Come
so
see
come
us.
and visit us if you're local.
We have spray bottles of alcohol dotted around for your hands only.
I did the isopropyl alcohol because you can spray it and it evaporates and does all the
good stuff.
things and anyway.
If you want to find a paper cut on your hand, it's a perfect way to do that.
Oh, and then the only other thing that I was going to mention is that I've been working with well, I haven't really been. Okay, so we're doing the Sun and Fog
You don't
collection.
work. You own a yarn shop. Every
is-
day is like a dream for you.
It is a little bit, yeah.
I do the work.
It's true, educating those children.
Yeah.
So Pamela of No Panic Knitting is my partner for the Sun and Fog collection, which is coming out in January. And
She was on the last show.
she was on the last show, and she's
Show number
absolutely
20.
delightful. I absolutely adore her.
20.
And so, actually, I'll just do a little, it's made out of this color. That's the little sneaky surprise. So we're going to be launching in January. So they've been doing photo shoots and all kinds of exciting things. And one of the organizers of the Sun and Fog collection and a phenomenal designer, which Life is Cozy, Ksenia, we interviewed.
You did.
See how I did that?
That's really good.
Yeah. So
I wish I could have done that.
should we just go to
Yeah,
Ksenia now? Life
she's
is
a very
Cozy?
interesting person.
She's wonderful.
Very cozy location she lives in as well.
Yeah.
Let's talk to her now.
Okay. Hi, Ksenia. Good morning. Hi, Ksenia.
Hello,
Thank
guys.
you so much for doing this. I'm very, very.
It's my honor. Yeah, I love being a part of this community. So yeah, sure. I couldn't say no to you.
I know we're really lucky. I mean, we have such a wonderful kind of Bay Area fiber community here, and it just seems to. I mean, I feel like for me, Leanne got it started, but in terms of introductions, I don't know if that was the same for you or whether you knew.
Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, Leanne is a part of my knitting circle that we meet with, and we still meet even though it's shelter in place. We have our Zoom knitting meetings every week, and yeah, it's one of the things that definitely kept me afloat this year.
And it seems to be really strong during this time as well.
It does seem a little, I mean, at least for me
I'm
anyway.
gonna clean my glasses. I'm so sorry.
I mean, it does
t-shirt.
feel as though, at least for me, that you know, that has grown in strength. Just, you know,
Yeah.
we've got more creative, and I should ask you the questions we ask everybody else, but before we do that, like maybe you could tell a little bit about the Sun and Fog collection.
Oh,
You're
yeah,
kind of heading
absolutely.
that up.
Sure. Yeah. I'm one of the 2 people who are actually making it happen. So we're extremely excited about the coming collection. And actually today I'm going to be doing the second part of the photo shoot. We already have almost all photos done, and we have some bio shots left for today. And as far as I can say, it's coming together so beautiful. It's well thought through. We have the same color scheme, and we have the same idea behind the whole collection, which is projects under 100 grams of yarn, which we hope is going to make it more accessible to everyone. And also it's going to be a great stash using project, because you can pick a skein of yarn you've been sitting on for years and pick one of the patterns from a collection. We have knitting and crochet patterns, and then just see them do their own magic. Yeah, so I couldn't be more excited about it. I also feel like it's coming. Now we already have the official date. It's gonna launch on January 7th. And we hope that it will be something that people can turn to as, selfish crafting. I really don't like this term, because I feel like crafting should be for the crafter first and then for everybody else. But yeah, like once people are done with the holidays, with preparing all the presents, they can finally concentrate on what they want and make something lovely for themselves. And also, as all the projects are pretty small, it's going to be very satisfying too. So you can start and finish pretty quickly and see the result. Yep. So that's it in a nutshell. But yeah,
So
I can't wait.
Yeah,
Sure.
follow Sun and Fog on Instagram, and then you'll
Yeah.
get all the updates.
Sure. Yeah. I think that we will start probably posting some sneak peeks and maybe some information a little bit earlier. But the official launch of the collection is going to be January 7th, and we will certainly have some promotional discounts at the very beginning. And I'm extremely excited about it. It's one of my favorite things every year. Yeah.
I'm so excited to be involved as well. So, and I love the pattern that is made using my yarn as support.
I saw it in person. I even touched it already. Your yarn is beautiful, and thank you for the yarn support. Thank you for making it happen too.
Yeah, anytime. And if you ever want yarn support from me, you got it.
Thank you.
Speaking of yarn support, Ksenia is a designer. Life is Cozy. And you probably are already familiar with her. And if not, check her out on Ravelry. She has phenomenal designs, a beautiful aesthetic, and a pretty big following. So what was your journey to becoming a designer?
I think that I knew that I will become some sort of a designer at some point, because I was always very much into mathematics. But other than that, I really didn't like any other science. So I loved combining mathematics with something creative. I was taught how to knit when I was a little girl, but I only made, a few blankets for my dolls. And I rediscovered the craft when I was studying in the university. I have a master's degree in mathematics, probability theory and statistics. So And I was working, I started working in the field, and I've worked there for quite some years. And during that time, just all the crafts that were fiber related were my personal outlet. I also, at some point, managed to knit a couple of scarves and a hat for every single member of my family and all of my friends. And they were like, you have to start selling it because we don't have anywhere to store it anymore. So I opened my store on Etsy, and I started selling just, simple scarves and hats and leg warmers, I think it was. But then once we moved to the United States, I thought that, it was such a huge change in my life that honestly, I could give it a full try. And giving it a full try, I knew that I didn't want to just sit and knit simple patterns because, if you want to make some sort of a revenue out of selling scarves, you need to use chunky yarn, some very simple pattern so that you can knit as many as you can in a very limited time. But that does not let you shine your creative self in any way, absolutely. And I was always designing my own patterns to begin with. I never used a pattern that somebody else wrote by that point. So I was like, okay, let me try doing this. And I first started doing free patterns because I wasn't sure that someone would even be able to, pay for it for what I was doing. And then just literally a year ago, this Christmas is going to be exactly 1 year that I started doing full swing weight patterns and made this my full-time job. So that's it in a haul. I'm giving it, sorry.
So I was going to ask, where did you grow up?
I grew up in Ukraine.
Oh, right, okay.
And I lived there until I was 25, 26. So I don't remember exactly the moment. Yeah. And then we moved directly to San Francisco because my husband is, as you can guess, software engineer. And I knew that we will end up here at some point because of his career. So that's just how it happened.
So you were talking about your designs, and I would love to hear more about that. And also, I want to know what your of the designs that you've done recently. I'd love to know what your favorites are, and I love what you're wearing, by the way.
Thank you. Yeah, that's one of my designs. It's saddle shoulder sweater. Nice. There's a little bit more lace happening down here. Yeah, I really wear this a lot. Of the recent releases, I have here the tooth cane shawl.
Oh, that's gorgeous.
Nice.
It's of course, tassels. I know you're one of the persons who wouldn't frown upon that. Yeah.
Tassel. I love a tassel.
Yeah, I'm like, everything has to have tassels. If you can add two in different colors, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, this one is a fingering weight shawl, and it just uses 2 skeins of fingering weight. I made this one with Knitfix, and they provided a yarn support for it. It's called the oak forest. It was inspired by California oak forests and the sunlight that penetrates them. Yeah. That's the one thing. And this sweater I recently released is this cardigan. I don't know, it's probably too dark to see, but again, I mean, saddle shoulder, balloon sleeve, baubles, all the textures. That's just what I love about knitting, and that's what I do a lot.
I like a balloon sleeve.
I do too.
I don't wear a balloon sleeve, but I like a balloon sleeve.
You should try. Imagine, full swing 18th century blouse for a man, with a balloon sleeve. Oh my.
I do like dressing. Yeah.
He could rock it.
I'm okay.
Do you have any others that you wanted to show?
I mean, I have a couple. This is actually the previous Sun and Fog collection, which was a crochet design.
Yeah, beautiful.
It's a crochet shawl, and it's in a V shape,
And
which I
tassels.
feel, and tassels, of course, which I find very wearable. So like triangle shawls can build up a little bit of the bulk at the top, so it's hard to wrap around. And this one doesn't have that problem because it's very easy to just wrap and still have something beautiful hanging here. And this is again only two skeins project, and I crocheted this with sincere sheep yarn, which is just a wonderful full-bodied fingering weight. And
one of my
oh,
favorite yarns. I love
oh
Sincere.
yeah,
I have it in the shop. It's beautiful.
Brooke is amazing dyer and amazing person in general. She's very sweet. I love working with her. And I actually can share a little bit about the coming collection for the Sun and Fog. So here are the mittens that I made. I'll put them on because they're all cable, so it's kind of hard to see when it's not on hand. But here they are.
They're beautiful.
Oh,
absolutely
nice.
Beautiful.
Yeah, and this is the little skein in big wool. And yeah, I love her yarn. And again, it's fingering weight. It's a little bit on the fuller side of fingering, so it's a little bit more full-bodied. And I love it because it makes the cables pop. And I made a very well thought through. I'm like, it sounds really strange when I'm talking about it on my own, but it's a very detailed design for a thumb so that it's placed ergonomically a little bit further to the palm with proper increases and everything, so that you don't just attach a tube to the side of the mitten. But yeah,
I love fingerless gloves. That's something I do like wearing, is those fingerless gloves.
I have actually several people who are testing it right now for me. I have several of them making gloves for their husbands or significant others. And I also have one gentleman who's also testing it for me for himself. So, yep, absolutely. Definitely a unisex design here.
I love it.
It's popped out of my head, but you have a, it's the next thing I'm going to cast on after I finish my mom's Wave of Change jacket is you have a long open cardigan with a puff sleeve. I can't remember the name of that pattern. Balloon sleeve. It's just
balloon sleeves. Oh, just straight and prompt.
Straight.
Oh yeah, it's one of my 3 patterns. It's the Cozy Cloud cardigan. Yeah, I actually have to revise some of the old ones because when I was releasing them a couple of years ago, 3 years ago, I think, they were not quite size inclusive, and I want all of my patterns to get there. So still, it's a free pattern, and I think it's chunky or bulky weight yarn, and it's so wearable. I wear it all the time as a winter coat in the Bay Area. So yeah, great choice.
That next, for sure. What I love about your designs, obviously you're coming from a place of a mathematician, which I didn't even know. And so that's amazing. But what I love about your patterns is you have style. And you are absolutely, you were doing the puff sleeves a couple years ago, like you're ahead of the trend. And so, and I love clothes and I like to wear things that are stylish. And so being able to choose something that's a little less plain or, or standard, and know that I'm going to get something that is, has a little bit of edge to it, that actually is on trend, that is going to look cool. And that's what I love about your designs. And so many, there aren't enough of you in terms of the design world in the knitwear. So I'm so delighted that you're in our area and that we know you. I feel very, very lucky.
When I hear compliments, it just makes me want to climb under the table. I'm not used to that. Altogether, I think the issue here is that it's hard to make a living being a designer. So most of the people who do it as a swing thing, something they do on the side. And to be honest, like most of my sweaters, all of the recent really, like all of the page patterns are always graded to fit a 60-inch bust with all the ease that has to be built in the pattern. So I usually grade my patterns for 11, 12, 13, 14 sizes. And that's a lot of work, and that's a lot of skill too, because you cannot just multiply the next one by 1.1 and get the result, because human body does not grow in width the same way and in height the same way, right? A person who's 5'4", let's say, and is a 40-inch bust, and the person who's 5'4" and has a 56-inch bust, they still will have exactly the same measurement for the drop of the shoulder, because the difference between the bones doesn't change, but the width changes. And so I can see that a lot of people who would give it a try otherwise are steering off to something simpler, just because, for example, a shawl, it doesn't need any grading. And it's easier to sell too. Like shawl patterns sell much better than sweater patterns, for example. But I still do it. Like every time I'm doing a sweater, I think like, oh, I could knit 3 shawls during the same time. And then, money-wise, it would be definitely a more smart decision. But I just love doing it. And I love wearing what I knit. And I feel like that's the perfect check. If I love wearing what I knit, then probably I'm doing something right. And hearing that somebody else loves wearing it too, that means a lot.
Well, it seems you're very much inspired by math and really thoughtful towards body shape. I never heard all those things, considering like how we don't grow as wide as we grow tall. I think that's wrong in my case. But what else do you get your inspiration from? What inspires you to design?
I think that I do a lot of research altogether that just goes on the background. So it's not that I'm looking for a specific sweater pattern, so I'm looking everywhere. No, I follow a lot of accounts that have nothing to do with knitwear. Like all the style accounts you can find all over the place, something they wear in Scandinavia, I will just follow that and see how it's happening. Interior design is a thing that I always found inspirations, and the lines and the light and the combinations of colors. And of course, San Francisco, that's one of the things that inspires me so much. Like you look at a couple of painted ladies and you can make a dozen different patterns out of them. I actually have a sweater pattern that was completely inspired by Victorian architecture. This guy.
Oh my gosh.
Like all the wood and all the.
I know exactly what you mean. Yeah.
Yeah, and again, baubles, of course, but that's just something that I didn't, see the specific house, took a photo and then tried to recreate it in a sweater form. No, I was walking around, I was looking at it, then I designed the sweater, then I looked at it and I was like, oh, it reminds me, I know exactly where it came from. So I believe in a line of action, motivation, inspiration, and not vice versa. I don't think that just sitting there and waiting for the inspiration to come on to you is going to make it happen. You have to start doing something, and then you will get there.
Do you take photographs, or do you sketch or draw when you go around places, or do you just?
No, I take photographs, but it's mostly, again, I don't think about it as a preparation for my future knitting. I just live my life in the way I love and enjoy it. I love taking long walks. I love knowing what is stylish to wear. Like when I go to the grocery store, it looks as if I'm ready to hit the runway. Sometimes it's a little bit over the top, but like all this, it's not just for the video. That's how I get out of the house. Like I have long pants on me and we just came back from having a coffee outside, and I just feel like this is how I want to live my life, and I feel like that's why it finds the way to my designs too.
That's all. I always admire artists like Andy Warhol or who live the life. They're not just painters, and they have their life. They live stylish and artistically and creatively as well. I think that's really cool.
Yeah, super cool.
I admire that. Thank
Me
you.
too.
Yeah, me too. You're kind of like,
Yeah, I can see guys with the golden walls and the purple couch. You definitely know what you're doing too.
It's so cute.
I just take out the trash. What's the next question, babe?
What did you want to be when you grew up? When you were a little girl?
I always answered this question as I want to be an interior designer, even though I don't think I knew exactly what it is. But when I have a little sister, and she's not that little anymore, but when we were growing up, she was the one who loved playing with the dolls, and I was the one who loved making apartments for the dolls. So I would do a full house out of whatever I could find around, do all the furniture, style it, make a carpet out of something, and then she will move in with her doll family and play there. I never was interested in playing, but I loved doing that part, decorating. Yeah. So I never actually thought about actually becoming an interior designer, but I feel like universe heard a part of it and was like, okay,
Yeah.
let's see.
And it came true, really. What if you were stranded on a desert island, which is really just more like it's another way of asking what's your favorite food, but it's deeper than that, because it's what food would you be okay eating over and over and over and over again all the time?
Yeah, that's a hard one because I have two forces beating in me, fighting in me at the same time. I feel like on one hand, you have to choose something healthy because otherwise you're gonna just, you're not gonna survive for that long. On the other hand, if it was the last thing, I have to.
You're scientific. You're being scientific. Just imagine no health restrictions at all.
No health issues whatsoever. Okay, it's gonna sound very okay. I would choose. I'm really sorry. Tartlets with red caviar.
Ooh.
Whoa, red caviar.
I mean, being Ukrainian, that was a treat that we always had for New Year's, Christmas time, once a year, and you would get just two of them. So it always was something very precious and very, very expensive and out of this world for me. But now I know, technically a can of red caviar costs something like $10. So it's not that much. It's pretty, it's not affordable food, but it's not that awful.
It's not like
but I still,
it's not like beluga caviar, which is like,
oh yeah, absolutely, yeah.
Something, yeah.
It's it costs like a piece of salmon technically, but I still feel the same way about it. Like it's a tremble, it's something special, it's a holiday in a can. So yeah, if I had to eat something one, I would choose that, definitely.
I like that answer. That's good.
That's an awesome answer.
My turn?
Yeah.
Okay. What's the last piece of music you listened to?
The last piece of music. I listen to a lot of stuff that I don't even recognize. I will ask Alexa to play something, and she will play something in turn. I really love City of the Sun. The guys it's just the music. They don't sing, even though they call it songs. It's really beautiful, modern indie rock, probably. I would get it there. I love Florence and the Machine. I listen to a lot of Ukrainian rock and some Russian rock as well, but old-fashioned one. That's what I love. I love Muse too. So
good answer.
What's your favorite color?
I love blue, but not the royal blue. More like teal and turquoise and all the shades of the sea. Definitely. I don't wear that much the colors like that, but I really love them. I find a lot of inspiration in them.
I like blue as well because, and I like all colors, but we live by the ocean and you can see, well, not today, but the ocean, the colors of the blue, the different blues you get at the ocean, I find very inspiring. I should paint the ocean, but
You should.
Oh,
never, I know. Anyway.
This is a good one. Do you want to ask it?
Okay. Do you think, what is your most annoying habit? I guess we have to ask your husband that, but.
most annoying habit. Oh, I'm an awful perfectionist, which is sometimes, better made than well thought through is definitely not my goal. And sometimes I overthink things a lot. I spend way more time doing something that I should have, and it pisses me off seeing the mug standing not in the right position. Yeah, it's definitely annoying. It gives me a lot of frustration, right? You know what I'm talking about. Yeah.
Ooh,
Oh wow, you're
sorry.
being very,
My phone,
very
my
rude.
phone.
Sure.
Sorry, my phone was just being rude. Do you have a child-appropriate joke? No pressure if you don't.
I have one. Okay. Okay. What if a sheep and a kangaroo had a child? What would it be?
What?
A woolen jumper.
Oh, that's perfect.
That's
And
so
it's
child appropriate.
It's so child appropriate. It's perfect. It's knitting and jumper for our Brit over here.
British. Yeah.
I love it. And for those that don't know, a jumper is a sweater.
Yeah, it's a sweater.
Yeah.
Can you share your favorite knitting or crochet tip?
Tip.
It's a good one. It's a new one.
Okay.
All new question. Wow.
Magic loop, 2 at a time, whatever you can. I feel like that's the technique that saved my life so many times. I hate making the same thing twice. I don't have anything anywhere that I've done twice. None of my patterns has 2 samples because I hate making things twice. So if Magic Loop 2 at a time didn't exist, I would have a beautiful collection of single socks and sweaters with 1 sleeve. But I make everything 2 at a time if I can. Yeah. 2 sides of the cardigan, 2 sleeves, 2 mittens, 2 socks, everything 2 at a time.
Yeah, I relate to that.
Except for you don't knit or crochet.
No, but but making things twice. I totally get that. Having to do something twice. Anyway.
Thank you so much.
That was very entertaining.
Yeah, you were an excellent interviewee. I appreciate it so much, and it's so good.
I had a lot of fun.
Good.
Thank you, guys. It was wonderful to spend some time with you.
Yeah.
Bye.
Have a great weekend. Bye.
Bye.
Yes,
Happy
bye.
holidays.
Oh yeah, happy holidays to you too. Yes.
Bye. That was so interesting.
She's lovely, isn't she?
Yeah.
She's living her best cozy life.
She's living the dream. She's living a cozy life.
Yeah, she's living her cozy life. And I, if you don't, you probably know her already as a designer, but if you don't, definitely check her out on Ravelry. Life is Cozy. And her designs are really beautiful. So yeah, and she's a great person. And she's, her and Yvonne another designer, have been kind of the ringleaders of the Sun and Fog collection, which is a series of Bay Area designers as well as yarn dyers. And we've teamed up to help kind of promote and support each other and to release a collection. We already did a winter collection, which was actually originally supposed to be a part of Lambtown, but of course Lambtown was virtual this year, and now we're doing another collection ready to kick off in January. So come January, that will be the launch, and you'll hear all about it and see all of the beautiful designs with the various different yarn supports from all Bay Area local folk. So I'm talking a lot.
Yeah, it's okay. You go for it.
Okay. Well, I thought I would show you just a couple. We always like to show off some of the stuff that we have in the shop. This is cowl that doesn't really look that exciting.
I think it's very exciting
It's
for
really
a cowl.
pretty. It's really, really pretty cowl. And, but when you put it on, it's a chevron stitch. When you put it on, you can be the model.
Cool.
Because I have, let's see, let me put it on for you. It is so gorgeous. And one of the things that I love so much about it is that it's 100% alpaca, and I'll show you the yarn in a second. But what's cool about it is that it can kind of be like a little bit of, what do they call those, snoods?
I don't know.
So it is
Like-
just,
I like this
isn't
look.
it soft? Oh, now you look a little bit like,
The Grim
it wasn't exactly the look we were going for. But okay.
How about
yeah, that's sweet and cozy.
Little old lady.
So
It's nice.
Isn't it soft?
I'm keeping this
So
on.
it's are you
Oh,
really?
no.
Okay, so it's 100%
So get the
baby
phone going.
alpaca. It's all right. We're not open yet, so 100% baby alpaca, and it's concentric. And it's
Concentric.
concentric by Haiku.
Nice.
And look at how cool that is. Basically, the only thing that I would say, the pattern is really, really easy. It's
You
just a
gotta knit
chevron
it
power.
with 2.
No, it's 4 strands that you have to hold together. So it's a little bit of a tricksy. You just have
Can I
to
show
be
this
mindful.
one as well?
Yeah.
I like this one. This is
Isn't
kind of
that
like
so
beetroot.
beautiful? It is a little bit.
Well, the outside.
Yeah. And this is a firm favorite. Which
Is this the one that this was knitted from?
Yeah. Isn't that pretty?
Nice. That's concentric.
Yeah. So
Jolly
I have
good.
lots of different colors at the shop. So yeah,
That's good.
that was kind of the yarn that I wanted to show you all today. It feels wintry and cozy, and it's so soft, and it's also very, very warm. I
This
mean,
is really
that's the
soft and warm.
nature of alpaca. And certainly for this area, what I love about it is how kind of loose it is around the neckline when you put it down, so that you can have all of that beautiful softness, but actually it's not like sorry, I didn't mean to like
Sorry, just a juggler. I'll just
a
keep my finger
juggler.
on it.
It's really not that close to this is like a kind of, you know, black on black, so it's hard to see, but it's not very close to the neckline. So yeah, there we go.
That's great. I enjoyed wearing that.
Did you?
I like the gradation.
Yeah.
Just said gradation.
Isn't it gradient?
Gradation is like the shift from white to dark, yeah.
Oh, okay.
It's an art term.
Oh, okay.
So,
yeah.
well, we're going to open the shop now.
Yeah,
Actually, I'm going to go
yeah.
get coffee. And then we're going to open the shop. We're open.
We're open. Come visit
It's Saturday.
us.
It's the first day of school vacation today.
Is it the 22nd? 22nd?
It's the 20. It's the 19th today.
Is it? It's the 19th today. It's the 19th today.
19th.
We'll see. You know, it'll probably take us a couple of days to put this up, but
Yeah,
I
it
don't
could
know
be.
yet.
Yeah, it depends how I feel.
We're a little lazy, yeah.
But have a great day. Have a great week and a great
Merry
vacation.
Christmas,
See you in
happy holidays.
2021. This is the last one of 2020.
Yeah.
What a great year it's been. And we'll see you in 2021.
Oh, but you know, there is a virus. You know, they have the vaccine. So
They
you
do have
know,
the vaccine
as
there, so-
horrible as 2020 has been, it's been, you know, there's light at the end of the tunnel. So
Absolutely.
That's good.
2021 is going to be beautiful. I just know it.
After the summer.
And we can help you
When
do
we
that
can all get together.
at the Royal Bee Yarn Company.
Wow.
That's terrible plug-in.
It really
Okay.
was.
I better go.
Bye.
Bye.